So this is the Zinus or Zenus, however you want to pronounce it, bed frame. This is the queen size, and I'm sorry, box spring, not bed frame. It is a box spring, which I think is an interesting name for this because there are no springs in it, which I actually appreciate even more because you don't have to worry about it going flat or anything. So when you see me get it opened, it will just be literally a frame for the box, obviously, with several different slats in the middle and across the top. And you will see the instructions very clearly of how to put it together. It was so easy. You would literally just like map it out. So I'll show you the instructions, and it shows you literally number by number how to set this bed up. It shows you where it says up, it's supposed to face up, and when the numbers say 5, it's supposed to match the other 5. So it's extremely easy to put together. Match up the numbers, make the frame, put the screws in it, and it's as simple as that. So as I said, these are the picture instructions. You can see how it is clearly numbered and lettered as well. So all you have to do is match up the exact number to the other number and a letter to another letter. You're just going to take the shorter sides of the curve, and that will be your top and bottom of the box spring. And these shorter bars are part of the sides as well as the inside of the box spring. And as long as you match up all of the numbers like they are supposed to be, it is pretty self-explanatory. So one thing I realized that I should have done as I was putting these slats together was that I should have actually looked at the form and laid everything out in the pattern that it should have been put together in. That would have been 10 times easier if you just look at the paper, see the numbers, where it's supposed to lay, just how it's on the paper, and then you can link it together. It would have been so much easier. I just ended up putting everything out on the floor and assuming I knew where everything went. And as I was looking through it, I realized that I had certain slats in the wrong place. But if you literally sit there and look at the little map that they have, it's very, very easy to just put the pieces in the place where they belong and then put them together as you're screwing the whole thing together. What I just showed a minute ago was the pack of screws and the little screwdriver that it came with, which is super, super helpful. They are labeled as long screws, medium screws, and short screws, as well as the little, I call it a screwdriver, but it's not. It's like a, I don't know, a torque wrench maybe. But it's really, really easy to help screw the screws in where they belong. And it's adjustable, so you can either tighten the screws or you can loosen the screws. Very, very simple. In that little clip, I was simply putting the middle of the box spring together. I was making the T that you see there. Um, that took the long screws, and then it took some bolts on the other side. Once that is together, you're pretty much golden. Everything is already laid out, and you can see where everything else fits in place. So next you'll see on both sides a little area where there are two slats and they have bolts built into the slats. And the bolt will slide into the middle part. There's a little bar that sticks out and it has holes in that bar. So the little screw piece will go into the hole on the bar, and that's what I'm screwing in together so that the bars on the sides are screwed into the middle center piece. Once that part is done and you have the bolts tightened up, you're just simply going to take both sides of the box spring, the footboard and the little headboard or foot piece and head piece, and they just simply slide together. I did have to have a little bit of force to kind of pop it into place, but after it was kind of snug in place, it held very, very well. And then this is just me putting the rest of it together so that the bottom half is secured. So at this point, you can pretty much pat yourself on the back because the hardest part is over. Assembling the outer frame is the most difficult part of this whole thing, which was still super, super simple. So the next thing you're going to do is take all of the slats and you're just going to simply slip them into the little notches that line the top of the box spring. Super easy to do. Just pop them in and you're ready to go. Now, these poles do have little stoppers on both ends, so as you're inserting them into the little divots, they're going to stay super secure because they kind of have like a rubber traction material to them. So they're not going to pop out, they're not going to cause any issues. So once they are in place, this thing is solid. Once you have secured all of the nuts and bolts and made sure they are tight, the last step is to just take this cover and hook around all four sides, and you are finished. Your box spring is put together and you are ready to go.